Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Gulfstream Park here on Saturday. It is the 4th of January 2020. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on the program from Gulfstream, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. So let's get to the stakes action from Gulfstream. We'll be looking at races 6 through 10. Some excellent racing here. The 6th race from Gulfstream, it's the Limehouse Stakes per $75,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 6 horses going to the main track, the distance of ground of 1,200 meters, or the distance of ground of 6 furlongs on the main track. 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs, main track, and I show the diagram, just gives me a little extra second to look down my notes, just bear with me. Top selection, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse here, who is Cajun Casanova. We'll go 5-2-6-1 in the superfecta. 5-2-6-1 super. Top selection of 5 horse Cajun Casanova. This 3-year-old colt by Cajun Breeze. Michael Yates trains this one. Irad Ortiz Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 7th of December at Tampa, 6 furlongs in the inaugural stakes. It was the horse's first start and just over about 10 weeks, and he finished third by 6 3/4 lengths. He stalked early on. He needed that little extra turn of foot late, which he didn't have, but I just want to say that was because it was his first off the break. Second off the break, if he stalks again on this race course, I think that's going to be a good thing. With a good pace in front of him, I think he can get a good turn of foot. I think he'll win. Before that, he ran a Gulfstream locally, 5 furlongs in the Hollywood Beach Stakes, September the 28th. And he won by 3.5 lengths. He broke well. He sat on the front and all around and just went away with it. First start with Lasix. It was an all-around good victory. And then the 12th of May, he ran a Gulfstream, 5 furlongs, main special weight, 65,000. He won by a neck there. He set the pace. He got, he looked like he was going to get caught in the stretch, but he held on to, a nice victory. But I've seen better 2-year-old victories, to tell you the truth, earlier on in the season. And then at Gulfstream, 4.5 main special weight, 66,000 early April. He finished third by 6 1/4 lengths. He broke well, but then he just kind of hit the wall. That race, you needed, he probably need the race for experience, but I liked his last 2. 4-1, let's take him here. Also, his workout patterns have been very good. So to recap my selection for the 6 from Gulfstream, it's the Limehouse Stakes. Let's take the 5 horse Cajun Casanova. We'll go 5-2-6-1 in the superfecta here in the 6. So now let's get to race number 7 from Gulfstream. Beginning of the pick 5, the 7th race, it's the Kitten's Joy Stakes, grade 3, purse $100,000, race for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 9 horses entered. The 7 horses main track only, so 8 will go to the lawn, the distance of ground of about 1,500 meters, or the distance of ground of about 7.5 furlongs on the Gulfstream turf course. About 7.5, rails out 12 feet, so it's the inner portion of the enormous turf course here at Gulfstream. Top selection, I'm going to go with the number 9 horse, Summer to Remember. We'll go 9-1-2-3 in the superfecta, 9-1-2-3 super. Top selection 9 horse, Summer to Remember. 3-year-old colt by Summer Front. Tom Pletcher trains. Luis Saez gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 11th of December at Gulfstream, 1 mile and a main special weight, 41,000. First off the break, the horse won by 1 3/4 lengths. He had a great trip, to tell you the truth. He stalked early on, he got the lead, and then he just shook away to a very good victory. Like I said, that was a very promising run. Coming to winners for the first time, coming to stakes company for the first time shouldn't be a problem. I think sitting close on this inner turf course at Gulfstream is very good, and I think he could get a good run. Also, Luis Saez could be very aggressive on this, on the circuit. Before that, the horse ran the 10th of August at Saratoga, mile 16th on the Mellon turf course, and main special weight for 90,000, and the horse finished second by 3 1/4 lengths. He just kind of stalked all the way around the race course and had a little bit of a weird trip that day, and he just couldn't get the good turn of foot. The winner, Dr. Invader, who won next, stood out, just ran that better race, but that, like I said, that was a very weird race. You have to go watch the replay a few times. That's how weird it was. His most recent workout patterns have been good. Like I said, sitting closer on this inner turf course is going to be well. He'll probably break from the outs. He's probably going to go to lead from the outside, and I don't think he could be stopped. So at 6-1, let's take him. If you're going to play the pick 5, the 1 horse Get Smokin' is also another one that could get a good run. And if there is going to be a pace mount down, I think the 2 horse Irish Mias could also get a good run. So we'll use them there in the pick 5. But to recap my selection for the 7th from Gulfstream, it's Kitten's Joy. Let's take the 9 horse Summer to Remember as a top selection. We'll go 9-1-2-3 in the superfecta. Race number 8 from Gulfstream, it's the Glitter Woman Stakes per $75,000. Race for 3-year-old fillies here. We have a field of 8 horses going to the main track. The distance of ground of 1,300 meters, or the distance of ground of 6.5 furlongs on the Gulfstream Park main track. 1,300 meters, 6.5 furlongs, main track. The top selection here, we're going to go with the number 1 horse, Tail of Success. We'll go 1682 in the superfecta, 1682 super. Top selection, 1 horse, Tail of Success, excuse me. 3-year-old filly by Tail of the Cat. Gustavo Delgado trains. John Velazquez, veteran, gets the mounts, who's having a little bit of a, subpar Gulfstream, meaning 28-4, but he hasn't had a lot of mounts, but still, he could be a little better. But the horse's most recent outing came opening day here at Gulfstream on 29th of November, 6.5 furlongs and main special weight 40,000 for state breds. The horse won by length. Another veteran rode him that day, Edgar Prado. Edgar Prado is actually riding the 2 horse today, but that afternoon, the horse stalked early on, and he found a way through late, got the win at 19-1. That was a very good run. Since the race, he's been training well at Calder. At 8-1, if he runs that same race today, I think he get a good run. I think there's going to be a bit of a pace meltdown in this one, because I think you're going to see a nice pace in this one. So I'll use Tail of Success also, along with the 6-horse Spanish Point. Another horse, he's the 5-2 favorite, but he's run 2 very good races as of recently, and also 5-2. It wouldn't surprise me if he wins. Also, the 2 Lady Anna, another horse who could come from a little bit behind. It wouldn't surprise me if she gets a good run. Edgar Prado's having opposed to John Velasquez, who's having a little bit of subpar meeting. Edgar Prado's having a very good Renaissance kind of meeting so far. He's 42-8, but he has a the ROI with him is very well, and also he's getting the horses to the finish line and in the places in the show. So 4-1, Edgar Prado. Let's take a shot with him. But to recap my selection for the 8th from Gulfstream, it's the Glitter Woman. Let's take the 1-horse Tail of Success as a top selection. We'll go 1682 in the superfecta. Race number 9 now from Gulfstream. It is the Ginger Brew Stakes. Purse $100,000. Race for 3-year-old fillies here. We have a field of 12 horses going to the turf course. A distance of ground of 1,500 meters, or the distance of ground of about 7.5 furlongs on the Gulfstream Park turf course. About 7.5 furlongs. Rails out 12 feet, so it's the inner portion of the turf course again. Top selection, I'm going to take the 10-horse Runaway Dreamer. We'll go 10-4-9-6 in the superfecta. 10-4-9-6 super. Top selection, 10-horse Runaway Dreamer. 3-year-old filly by Tonalist. Josie Carroll trains. Joe Bravo gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came at the 8th of December here at Gulfstream in her debut locally. 1 mile in the main special weight 41,000. She broke the maiden by half length. She stalked early on. She got the lead in the straightaway, and then she just took off clear. That was a very good run. But before that, she was facing some tougher horses at Woodbine. Mile 16th on the inner in the main special weight 94,000. She finished second by a nose. She stalked around the race course after not best beginnings. It looked like she was going to win, but then she got caught by Gun Society, who was carrying 10 less pounds than this one. She got caught at the wire, but she still ran her art out there. And then the Natalma at Woodbine, yielding E.P. Taylor turf course 1 mile there. The horse finished 7 by 6.25 lengths there, and she just didn't have the best of trips, and Afscan was just much the best. This horse has some speed. Like I said earlier, the center turf course at Gulfstream's playing towards speed. Joe Bravo's going to have to lead with this horse, and if she's, gets away with it on the front end, she could win. At 12-1, I'm going to take a shot. On the multi-race, you have to go too deep. I think you have to use Abscon here also. Her most recent outing came in the Brewers Cup Juvenile Fillies turf at Santa Anita, where she finished 7 by 4.5 lengths. She set the pace, but then she just couldn't keep up for the final furlong. It just wasn't her day to win. But before that, she won the Natalma very nicely. She placed in the Bolton's Landing behind Kamari before that very nicely, and then she broke the main at Ellis very nicely. She's been training well in the at Palm Meadows on the dirt and turf. At 9-5, another horse you have to use on the multi-race with the good runs and experience she has. But to recap my selections now for the 9th from Gulfstream, it's the Ginger's Brew Stakes. Let's take the number 10 horse Runaway Dreamer as a top selection. We'll go 10-4-9-6 in the superfecta. The road to the Kentucky Derby via South Florida starts off with race number 10 here at Gulfstream. It's the Mucho Macho Man. Purse $100,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. Field with 7 horses going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile on the Gulfstream Park main track. 1,600 meters, 1 mile main track. Next leg is the Holy Bull in about 4 weeks' time. After that, we have the Vow of Youth, and we all know what happens after that. The Florida Derby. But the top selection here, I'm going to go with the 1-horse South Bend. We'll go 1-5-4-2 in the superfecta. 1-5-4-2 super top selection, and a horse I'm going to single in the pick 5 or multi-race is the 1-horse South Bend. 3-year-old colt by Algorithms. Stanley Huff trains. Julien Leperoux gets the mount. His last race you could throw out. That came to the Kentucky Jockey Club at Churchill, mile 16th, November 30th. He finished 6 by 4.75 lengths on a very, very, very sloppy racetrack, and that was an understatement, shall I say. He just never really ran, didn't like the dirt in his face, and he just kind of hit the wall, finishing sixth that day. But on a dry racetrack, hopefully today, I think he'll get a better trip, and the one-turn mile should suit him well. Before then, the Street Sense at Church 1 mile, October the 27th, he won by a length there. He sat back early, had a good turn of foot, and he just went away with it. A very good run. And then Keeneland, about 7 furlongs, optional 75. First time facing winners, he won by a neck, was way out of it early, a little bit wide, but he got there in the nick of time. If the race was 7 furlongs, he wasn't winning, but since it was about 7 furlongs, which is 7 furlongs and 184 feet, with that extra 184 feet, he got the job done. A very good run there. And then he broke the maiden at Churchill in September very nicely, again closing up from the back. But hopefully they take him a little bit farther behind today, not so close like they did last time out. I think you'll see a good pace in this one, and I expect him to have a very good run. A lot of people say Gulfstream is speed favoring, and to a point the dirt can be speed favoring, but these 1-turn 7 furlongs and 1 mile races can play towards closures like this one, so I'm very confident that he'll get a good trip here. So at 9-2, let's take him, single him in the multi-race. He's my best bet in the card from Gulfstream. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Gulfstream, it's the Mucho Macho man. Let's take the 1-horse South Bend. We'll go 1-5-4-2 in the superfecta. I'm going to single the 1-horse in the multi-race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck.